How to dominate your local real estate market and be number one. Are we excited about this video today?
I'm very excited about this video, and thank you for having a hot beverage for me this morning.
In the last video, there was not coffee, and I promised Leslie she'd have hot coffee.
I did make a comment that we did need coffee, so for the next time, we should do like a happy hour or maybe like a coffee, a caramel macchiato waiting for me, like for your guests.
And I think you have tea, actually.
Yeah, I've already had 2 cups of coffee, so 1 more cup of coffee, and I'd be like, ah!
Okay, so Leslie, why are we going to talk about dominating your local market? I mean, does anybody want to do that? Does every agent want to do that? Like, what's the point of this?
Well, of course you want to dominate your market because you want to be the person that is top of mind when someone's like, man, I need to sell a house, or I'm looking to buy a house, right? You want to be the first person that someone thinks of.
Yeah.
At least I do. I don't know about you.
I would encourage you guys, if you're in this business, like I've always said, and I'd probably drive poor Leslie crazy, but if you're going to do it big. Be number one. Be at the top of the charts. Like, be the go-to person, whether it's real estate or anything you're going to do in life. Be the best at it. So that's really what we're going to dive into today. I am John Foster, and
I'm Leslie Foster.
We help team leaders and realtors grow and scale their businesses to become number one in their marketplaces. So let's just go ahead and dive right in today.
Okay.
I have been looking forward to filming this video all week, and I'll just tell you guys why. There's 2 types of agents in this business. There's agents that struggle. You don't want to be that agent. No. Trust me, we've been there.
Yes, we have, and it sucked.
Not going to be there again. But you got to make a decision to just go out there and just dominate. And we're going to talk about exactly how we did it, and we're going to teach you guys how to do the same thing, to be the number one agent in your marketplace, in your farm, in your community, in your city, so that when anybody thinks of buying or selling real estate, you guys are going to get the call.
Yep.
Just to kick this off, I mean, visibility is the ultimate goal. So I don't know if you guys have heard begin with the end in mind. That's what we're going to do today on this video. We're going to begin with the end in mind. And for all of you, it's visibility in your marketplace, in your community, in the groups that you're around, events that you participate in within your community. Anybody that wants to buy or sell real estate, you need to be the number one person that they think of. And we're going to talk about exactly how we did that.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Let's dive in.
Where did we start, Leslie? I mean, like, it doesn't matter if it's us or anybody else. Nobody like gets their license and is like the number one agent in their community. Where did we start?
Well, we started out as a husband and wife team. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in Orange County. John lived in the Bay Area. And I was in the loan side of it. And before we got married, I decided, well, I might as well take my real estate test. We can work together. And I passed it. We got started and the market crashed. So super fun. First year of marriage was amazing. It was stressful, but we basically just started from the ground up, I guess, right? Really. I mean, back in the day when we first got started as a husband and wife team, it was a lot of the cold calling.
I mean, it was pretty easy to decide, like, what are we going to do for marketing? Because it was all budget based. What was our budget? I mean, it was like almost nothing.
Yeah, I think $100. I mean,
you know, it wasn't
maybe.
Like we're dumping 10 grand a month into marketing as brand new agents, or agents that necessarily weren't brand new at the time. But like Leslie said, we get married, the market crashes. We're living off an equity line of credit on our house. Like, we're not about to spend all that on marketing. We were trying to be very careful. Quite honestly, we were scared. We were stressed. And so, like Leslie said, what could work for us that was either free or cheap? It was door knocking, cold calling, and open houses.
Yep, absolutely. It was a lot of just how can we market something, circle prospecting, you know? So if we have an open house, let's door knock the neighborhood around, inviting all the neighbors, right? So just being really intentional with the business that we did have at the time.
So we've talked about where we started. We've talked about getting some traction in a more traditional market. Mm-hmm. As we had some capital built up, I remember spending money on Zillow leads.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Zillow leads.
It's kind of hard to believe that we have been with Zillow for so long. And in the beginning, it was very like poo-pooed. Don't you think? People were like, I can't.
Oh, people made fun of us. Yeah. I can't believe you're wasting your money on those terrible leads. Like, how dumb.
Yeah, but I will say that Zillow was kind of a stepping point. Like we tell the agents within our organization, you know, like Zillow is an added bonus. Zillow can't be your only business, right? So what we did is we had the leads come in, and then we really worked to build rapport with those people, help them have a great experience with buying homes, and then ask for the referral in the business. And there have been times where we had sold a Zillow, you know, prospect a house, and then 4 or 5 transactions came from that same person, whether they resold back, down the line, or they introduced us to family. So like really having a different mindset about it, or truly, it's no different than meeting somebody at an open house, right? You're meeting a person who has the intention of wanting to purchase a home and have that dream of being a homeowner. So it was really the way you think about it. If you think about it as an online lead and as just that, a lead and not a person and who they are, then yeah, of course you're not going to have success because you're thinking about it the wrong way.
It's so true. Yeah, and please look back at our other video that we filmed prior to this one, or 2 videos ago, I believe it was, on converting online leads. I went into depth on the mechanics of how we did it. I mean, we have sold hundreds of homes to buyers that came in through Zillow, and we treated those leads like royalty, like Leslie said.
Nordstrom customer service,
when
right?
you're paying it and that charge hits your credit card every month, you better work those leads like your life depends on it. Otherwise, you might as well just donate your money to charity. But that's really what we did. Let's keep going. Okay. We had good coaches and we always were good about budgeting, and we put 20% of our income aside for marketing. And then if you guys just can go with me here for a minute, if you've read the book, The Compound Effect, as your income is increasing with a certain pillar, which we worked hard enough that was happening for us, that 20%, it's the same 20%, but that starts to grow rapidly as your income increases. So we did a pretty good job looking back at being very strategic of never letting, and this is huge, you guys, don't ever sacrifice a pillar in your business that is working when you are starting a new pillar.
Absolutely.
Right. So in our case, we talked about some of the things we did before. We never let those other pillars go, because then you're just basically losing one source of income to replace with the other. You're not growing. Specifically, when we had kids and Leslie got involved in the Cash Right Mothers Club, how many transactions, I know there's a long story attached to that, but high level, how did you leverage that into our business and what were the results of that?
I think more than anything, it was just being present. We're very fortunate in Cache Valley where we live. We have an amazing mothers club, and I was actually introduced to it by a friend who had twins, and I was like an honorary member, but I didn't have children. I would just go hang out at their happy hours. And they are goddaughters now. They're going to be graduating and going off to college next year. But it was just really just being present. I didn't tell people I was a realtor. I would wear a hat that would say J&L Real Estate Group, or I'd have on a t-shirt with our logo on it, right? I wasn't in people's faces. To this day, I'm still not in people's faces about that I'm a realtor. And over time, I had a mom reach out and I sold a house to them, and then it just kind of snowballed and it just came back tenfold for us. Truly, it really did. Other things is I was really involved in the community. We've got 2 kids, so anytime they needed sponsors for softball or baseball, we did it. Our banners are up at the fields, year round. It's just, and offering advice to people. If someone's like, hey, we had a plumbing issue. Does anyone have a great plumber? I'm a great resource. People know that I know everybody, right? Or we've got some flooding issues. Does anybody know a good landscaper that could put a French drain in? Yep, no problem. I just kind of became that go-to person where people are like, oh, at Leslie, Blount Foster, she knows everybody. And truly, it was just doing the right things and making sure people have the best experience that really allowed us to connect with a lot of amazing families and help them buy homes or sell homes. So just kind of close the loop for those of you who have just spent 5 minutes talking about being a mom and being in the Moms Club, right? But you might be a person with no children. So what other places could you be involved in? Or dad, right? You could find a dad's club, but there's tons of things that you could do. You can get on Nextdoor. You could, if you belong to a gym, ask if you can put your flyers up in the gym. If you have a local coffee shop that maybe, isn't a Starbucks and they have the bulletin boards, put a flyer up, put some business cards. Places that you frequent, nail shops, hair salons. There's so many different places.
Rotary, Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
The list is a mile long. It's endless.
Yeah.
Just get involved and get out there. So let's keep going with pillars, right? You hear me say that all the time because it's critical. There's no way to dominate your market or any business without having multiple pillars that drive that. And so let's keep building on that.
Yeah, I love it.
So again, The Compound Effect is one of my favorite books. You guys have heard me mention that a lot. You've got to keep building on the momentum that you've got without losing what you created and keep building on top of that. And so geographic farming was huge. Now we got some really good coaching that it was don't commit to geographic farming until you're never going to miss a month without doing something in that farm. And the reason that coaching was valuable for us is it's a huge investment of money.
Right. So,
and time.
So what I would suggest is sit down with one of your title reps or wherever you have the information and really identify a farm that you want to mail to that is something that is affordable and that you're going to be consistently present in, right? Yeah. So like our first farm was really small. It was around our first house here in Castro Valley, and we just mailed around that neighborhood. And then as our farm started to grow and we started to see return after a few years, then we expanded into more areas, right? And I think now we farm over close to 8,000 to 10,000 homes.
By the way, if you guys are liking some of the content we're putting out, please like and subscribe our channel. We would certainly be appreciative and grateful for that.
What does Nora say? Like and subscribe.
That's right. Let's talk about visibility throughout the community. We're going to put up some fun pictures in this video that you can see, but Leslie, let's talk about the shopping carts and the ad dividers. What's up with that?
It's so funny. So we started doing this. The ad dividers and the shopping carts is really funny because the people who notice the ad dividers and the shopping carts are the children. And it is always, I'll be dropping off our kids at school and someone's like, oh my gosh, Jonah saw Nora's mom and dad on the shopping cart. I didn't know you guys sold real estate, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, my friend is wanting to buy a house in Castro Valley. Can I connect you? I don't know why I'm making a different voice. That's not what her voice sounds like.
But to your point, Leslie, how many text messages have you received or we received about the shopping carts? Seriously.
I mean, it's monthly. I get really funny text messages when we had the ad dividers. My girlfriend had like really random things on there. She's like, would it be okay to post this to your social media? I'm like, absolutely not. You know, was this John and Leslie endorsed? I'm like, no, this is not John and Leslie Foster endorsed. But truly, it's just being top of mind, right?
And it was also, again, we talked about the sequence. So we did not spend the money at the local Safeway because it isn't cheap.
No, it's definitely
on all of that until we had other momentum within the community, within the farm, within past clients that actually, once we spent that money, it was just, oh yeah, we know John and Leslie, and now they're on the shopping carts. It's more, we've had just a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
people say, we'll get the question, have you sold a house just because you're on the shopping carts? I
did get one phone call from a gentleman who said I looked like I was a very nice and trustworthy person and would like to interview me. So that did happen, but yeah.
Yes. Okay, so shopping carts, had fun with that. Just to wrap up the community visibility, I mean, we've placed a full color ad in our local newspaper. If you have a local newspaper, we'd love to give you some coaching on it. That is a massive point of leverage, so we'll show what that looks like here. So it's one more thing, and our goal is like people can't go anywhere without seeing us somewhere.
Yeah.
That should be your goal. Absolutely. In your community. At what point did we begin to see momentum, and has that momentum ever stopped?
So we really started to see momentum, I would say what year?
2015.
2015, 2016, I think is really after we had Nora. Nora was born in 2015. So that's when I was kind of back to work full time, and the two of us just really dove in. And that's when we really started to see the momentum, I feel like. And then we hired a business coach. We were stuck at 40 transactions a year. We were having a hard time just getting over that hump. It was like, what do we need to do? How do we double our production, right? And it was really just kind of identifying our pillars, which we're kind of talking about, truly. And then how do we move forward strategically and not spend too much money in the beginning where we don't have the money to spend in the end. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? Yep. It makes sense to me, but.
So we got some fun questions here. Have any other local agents in our marketplace tried copying us?
Yes. And that's fine. I mean, I feel like that is the highest form of flattery. I mean, when you find something you love and that works really well for other agents, and you start doing it or duplicating it, bravo to you. Obviously, you did a great job because other people think it's also a great idea. So It truly is, I think. What's the saying, John?
Imitation's the highest form of flattery. So I asked this question for a reason. You guys need to know this. Agents in your marketplace will copy you. Who cares?
Seriously.
It does not matter. I'm telling you guys, competition is your best friend. If you're dominating your marketplace, you will have agents say negative things about you, spread rumors about you, say things that are untrue about you. That is a sign of success. So you guys need to understand that and be okay with it and actually embrace that and empower you to move forward? I just thought that'd be a fun question to ask.
Yeah.
So we've told a lot of our story of what we've done over the years. Let's talk a little bit about like two things, Leslie. What have we done in our very recent past to increase our marketing after we've built all these pillars that we've talked about? And what do we have planned for the future with our marketing?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, we actually were able to purchase an office building downtown where we live. We're very fortunate. We were able to renovate it, and it's got really great sign exposure, good foot traffic. So we have a lot of visibility in the community. So if you go to Safeway and go grocery shopping and then you're driving home, you drive right past our office. So we were really fortunate to find a property where we were able to be very visible. Future things I know we want to do is definitely expand into other markets. We've been very fortunate. We've got an amazing group of agents, and we're now starting to cover several counties. So definitely maybe open offices in other counties.
Yeah, and this is where like really being careful with when you get to a point where you're doing very well, you're number one, you're dominating your local market. The next levels of marketing can get really expensive. They can be extremely effective, but I think that's where having a good real estate coach, if you want to book a call with us, is going to be really critical. There's a lot of agents out there that have spent tons of money. I'll give you guys a couple examples like billboards, bus benches, buses. We're not on any buses.
No, we're not going to be on any buses.
I'm not saying never say never, but right now we are not on any buses. But like a bus drives by and there you go. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, moving forward, I mean, there's a lot of ideas we've got. We're really working hard on our website SEO right now. That's really starting to pick up some traffic. Again, so the whole point of visibility, to kind of wrap this up, is you're seen everywhere. So let's say they're like someone in a neighborhood that's maybe they're elderly or they're not on social media, so they're not going to see any of your ads. They're not on Instagram, they're not on Facebook, and all they're going to see is the local paper. Well, they're going to see you there.
Oh, well, and we did partner with a pharmacy, so every time someone goes and gets their medication, our ad is on the bag. So that's a good way to reach the older community, because they tend to be on medication. So if you have a local pharmacy in your town, that might be reach out, see if you can give them some money to have your information on the bags that they take home with them. Exactly.
Cannot stress enough. I just wanted all of you to understand that every single agent, because a lot of agents, they look at agents that dominate their market, or every time there's a new listing, it's the same sign in the yard. Every single one of those agents was brand new when they got their license and had sold 0 homes. So don't ever get discouraged. Don't ever feel like I have to climb Mount Everest, or at least it feels that way to get there. You've got to have a great coach that you share a vision with, that can map this out for you and with you. And then you've got to just execute the plan. And I remember the best coaches we had, they basically said, okay, John and Leslie, this is what we're going to do. And it was this big, exciting vision. But they said but we're just going to start with these little things.
Yeah.
And we're going to implement these little things. And then we're going to take another step and another step and another step. Is that accurate?
100%. Tiny hinges swing big doors, right? So just being consistent, doing something consistently, and not stopping, and just continue doing that, and then you'll be able to add more. So last point that I really want to just emphasize with all of the information that we talked about was your end goal is to have community or client events. We do community events as well, but every quarter we host 4 past client events, and we've done things where we've done barbecues during the summer. We've done park taqueria, where we have all the stuff come to the park, and we've got bounce houses and shaved ice. We've done renting out the movie theater, inviting all of our clients to come see a holiday movie. We've done pie events, Santa pictures. So whatever it is that you want to do, find 4 events that you can do a year to invite all your past clients to. And that's a really great time for you to just reconnect and just see how they're doing, right? It's really more just staying top of mind. So I think that is really the end goal when you start putting all of this marketing into place, is to have these events 4 times a year for sure.
So thanks for watching. I just want to encourage all of you, get out there in your marketplaces, implement this plan, reach out to us if you'd like further coaching on it, and get out there and dominate and be number 1 in your marketplaces. We are rooting for you.
Yes, we are.